Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Yeah, in the last class we have discussed about the components of network. Just 1 minute. So I'm sharing the screen. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So in the components of network, we have discussed about first we need end devices. So end devices are the devices through which we can send or receive the data. So basically in end devices, we are using PCs, laptops, mobiles. Then we are using some printers also, your IP phone. These are all belongs to end devices. So next to the end devices, the other component of network is intermediate devices. In intermediate devices, we have discussed, we are using routers, switches, firewalls. Okay, so these are the intermediate devices, and out of these two components, end devices and intermediate devices, we are using another component also, that is called as the medium or media. That means this is the path through which we have to forward the data from one device to the next device, and the data is carry forwarded from one devices to other devices, starting from source to the destination. So when the media or one medium we are using for transfer of data, so basically the data is transferred by, or when a data is transferred from one device to other device, it requires one path which is called as the media. And the way it is carrying the data, according to that, media is divided into different types. So basically media is divided into two types. One is called as wired media and other one is the wireless media. So what is the difference between wired media and wireless media? In wired media, we are using a physical cable to carry the data. But in wireless media, there is no physical connection between the end device and the intermediate device. So there is a logical connection between end device and the intermediate device. So basically, access points are used to connect the end devices in a wireless way. But whether it is wired or wireless, we need one media, or without media, data cannot be forwarded from one device to other device. So we discuss about this. So this is the wired media and this is wireless media. So first we will discuss about what are the wired media. Again, wired media is divided into two parts or two types based on the technology we are using to forward the signals or data. Basically, the data are transferred in wired media or in wireless media in the form of some signal. And in a wired media, we are using two types of technology for which the data or signal is transferred through the cable. One is by the help of electrons, or by the movement of electrons, the signal is carried from one location to other location in the circuit. And second method is we are using photons or fiber optics or light particles we are using for this purpose. So if we are using electrons, we need a cable or a metal which is having highest conductivity. So basically copper is a good conductor. That's why we are using copper wires to carry the signal. So in copper wire, electrons are used to carry the signal, but in fiber optics cables, if you are going for fiber optics, at that case, we are using photons for carrying the signal from one location to other location. And if you are comparing copper cable and fiber cable, so copper cable, it is traveling the data or signal from a limited length. So basically the maximum length is 200 meter. That is practically it is 185 meter. So because when the signal is transferred through media or through copper wire, it is not 100% conductor. There are some resistivity is inside the copper cable which absorbs some of the voltage. That's why the charge of the electron will be getting less and less if it is traveling a long distance. So if we need more length, suppose the maximum length is 200 meter, but I have to forward the signal to 500 meter. So what I have to do, at every 200 meter or less than 200 meter, I have to use one amplifying device or another switch which is receive the signal, again amplify the signal, and then forward the signal. And if you are comparing the fiber optics with copper cables, fiber cable can travel the light signal a long distance. Even if 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 10 kilometers also, it can travel the, it can forward the signal. But if you are comparing the cost, fiber optics cable is costlier as compared to copper cables. So now we come to the copper cables. So basically nowadays we are using both the cables, copper cable as well as fiber optics cable. So in copper cable, again inside a cable, because in a computer network, when we are connecting a cable to the PC or laptop, that cable it is available, some multiple wires are available inside the cable. So normally there are 8 wires are available inside a copper cable. And if you are going for the copper cable, suppose basically copper cables, where we can use copper cables and where we can use fiber optics cables, what is the preference? So basically copper cables can be used inside a LAN or inside a room or inside a location. But when the signal requires to travel a long distance, at that case we have to use fiber optics cables. And when we are going for the copper cable inside a LAN or inside a room, where you have to create one LAN, then at that location you can use copper cable. And copper cables, you have to connect it, one end you have to connect it at your PC or at the laptop. There is a network port or network interface card is available. Nowadays it is inbuilt with the motherboard. So you can get a RJ45 connector or RJ45 port is available in either laptop or in PC. So you have to take a RJ45 cable, and this RJ45 cable you have to connect a RJ45 connector at the end, and you have to crimp it. The process is called as crimping. That means fixing the RJ45 connector to the cable, to the end of the cable, is called as crimping. So we'll do this practically. We have to do how to connect a clip to the RJ45 connector, because for that purpose we have to follow some of the color codes. So when we are connecting, as we know that inside a network cable 8 wires are available, and these 8 wires are not parallelly available. These are in a twisted form. So according to this, copper wires are divided into twisted pair cable. That means the cables are in the pair form and each pair is twisted to each other. So what is the twisted? You can easily find out if you are not getting a network cable. You can find out the electrical wires, flexible electrical wires, where 2 cables are twisted to each other. So this is the twisted pair cables, but inside a network cable, 8 cables are in the pair form. That means you can get 4 pairs, and these 4 pairs are twisted to each other. And another form of copper cable is copper cable. It is available at also in the form of coaxial cable, where the coaxial cable is present at the core of the cable or at the central location of the cable, and it is a single cable. Outer surface of the cable, some solenoid or insulating material is there. After that, one mesh-like structure is there, and after that another coating or plastic insulation is available at the outer surface. But for computer purpose, we are not using this cable, so we will not discuss about the coaxial cable, because nowadays it is outdated for computer purpose. Coaxial cable, you can find out the cable TV providers, those are providing cable TVs in the cities. Somewhere they are using this coaxial cable for this uh, channel service providers. As a channel service provider, they are using for these coaxial cables. So now we'll discuss about twisted pair cable, because we are using this twisted pair cable. So basically, if you are going for twisted pair cable, again it is divided into two types. One is called as STP and other one is UTP. This is STP is shielded twisted pair, and other one is called as the unshielded twisted pair. So shielded twisted pair cables are the type of twisted pair cable. That means if you are taking the network cable, 8 wires are available inside the cable, and these 8 cables are available in 4 pairs. So if 4 pairs are there in STP, every pair having an additional coating. So this will provide extra support or extra security for the environment. Suppose the cable, it is directly connected between two buildings, which is connected openly, or through cable from building to building you are connected. So if you are using one UTP cable, the life will be less, because it is directly contact with temperature, it will direct contact with rainwater. So the lifetime or the lifetime of the cable will be less. And if at that case, if you are using STP cable, though it is having some additional protection or additional insulation at each pair of the cable, its resistivity is more for the environment. So it can resist more in the summer season, in the winter season due to the rain. Also, its resistance is more as compared to UTP cables. But UTP cables are more used in the LAN, because inside a LAN, inside a building or inside a room, when we are connecting all the PCs through a centrally located device, that is a switch. So to connect switch to PC, we have to connect through a cable or network cable. That cable we are using at UTP. So mostly we are using UTP cable, and some of the specific locations we have to use STP cables. So if you are going for this UTP cable, so you can find out 8 cables, and these are available in 4 pairs, and each pair it is twisted. And these 8 cables, having to identify these cables, these are identified by a specific color code. In the next class, we'll discuss about what are the color codes of the cable, and when we are connecting to the RJ45 connector, it is having 8 pins. That means from pin number 1 to pin number 8. So pin number 1 is connected with which color code where? Pin number 2 is connected to which color coded where? So details we'll discuss. So again, another thing we have to discuss in UTP cable. Suppose you are the network administrator and you are going to set up a new LAN. So you are having 20 pieces and a switch, and you are going to purchase the cables. So if you give me to the shopkeeper that give me 100 meters of UTP cable, then the shopkeeper will ask you what is the category or which category UTP cable you need. That means UTP cables are available in different categories. These categories are, we are using Cat5. We are using Cat5 cables. We are using Cat6 cables and 6E cables. So we'll discuss in details what are the category 5, category 6 and category 6E cables. So category 5, it is having the data transfer rate is 100 Mbps. Generally, the UTP cables, Cat5 UTP cables, these are having the data transfer rate is 100 Mbps. So these category 5 cables now we are not using. If you are working on an existing network which was established or which was set up just before 5 years or 10 years back, at that case you can find out the Cat5 cable. And in the market also, Cat6 cables we are using. So Cat5 cables are outdated now. We are using Cat6 cable. Cat6 cable having a data transfer rate of 1 Gbps or 1000 Mbps, which is 10 times more than as compared to the Cat5 cable. So we are using Cat6 cable with a data transfer rate 1 Gbps. And next, recently another cable has launched in the market, that is Cat6e, which is having a data transfer rate of 10 up to 10 Gbps. And recently also another cable it is coming, that is Cat7. So Cat7, its data transfer rate is unknown till now. Maybe it is 50 Gbps or 100 Gbps. When it is physically available, we can find out what is the data transfer rate. So for the time being, if you are going to set up a network, we can use Cat6 or Cat6e cables. So this is about the copper. This is the copper media. Then we'll discuss about fiber optics cables. So this fiber optics cable, in fiber optics cable, we have to use light or light particle or photon to carry the signal. So fiber optics cables, it is having one drawback, that instant or L shape, in L shape it cannot forward, because where there is one bend in the road or in the building, so exact 90-degree curve it cannot form. So at that case you just to bend some trapezoid, this is which type of umbrella like structure. So it is exactly, you cannot bend it 90-degree, because if you make it 90-degree, the light particle it will not transfer, because by scattering the photons or lights, or it will forward the data. So in fiber optics cable, when we are using, we have to make as straight as the cable will be, but anywhere we cannot find out a straight line. There is some bend is required, we can make it bent, but we have to avoid 90-degree bend. So we have to use some this curve like structure when there is a bend is coming. And fiber optics cables are available in two modes. One is called as single mode and other one is called as the multi mode. In single mode fiber optics cable, a single signal can be transferred, whereas in multi-mode fiber optics cable, we can transfer multiple signals. So nowadays we are using multi-mode fiber optics cables, but single modes are using, but in computer network if you are going for, then we have to prefer this multi-mode fiber optics cable. Then we'll discuss about the wireless media. So basically in wireless media, we are using different types of waves which is not visible. So that's why it is called as wireless communication or wireless media. But without media, data cannot be forwarded. We need a media, either it is a physical media or wireless media. So in wireless system or wireless media, we are using different types of waves for transferring or communicating the devices. So basically these three waves are infrared, radio wave and microwave. So in infrared, nowadays we are not using this for computer networks, because infrared having some of the drawbacks. First one is it is a very weak wave. That means it can travel a very short distance. It is better for 2 or 3 meters or up to 5 meters. But if it is 10 meters or more, then infrared signal will be very weak and the signal may not be reached at the destination. And second drawback is it is a point-to-point connectivity. It has point-to-point connectivity. That means source and destination should be in a sight of line or in a straight line. If you make any obstacle or if you keep some obstacles in between the source and destination, then the signal cannot travel to the destination. For example, it cannot pass through the walls if we are connecting between two different rooms in a building. So infrareds are used in the TV remotes previously, but nowadays also we are not using infrared. We are using some low frequency radio waves in remote controls, TV remote controls. So out of these three, infrared we are not using in computer purposes. We are using radio waves as well as microwaves. So radio wave, it is an omnidirectional wave. Omnidirectional means if you are transmitting the signal or wave from one point, it will spread in all directions. It will travel in all directions. So basically, radio waves are using nowadays for mobile communication. Your mobile is working on which wave? It is basically use the radio wave, because radio wave, it is omnidirectional. The signal will transfer in a 360-degree orientation. So mostly the networking devices, wireless networking devices are connected through radio waves. And another type of wave is called as microwave. It is also a point-to-point transmission wave. That means it is a point-to-point connectivity, or it can travel in a single or unidirection. But it can travel a high distance or maximum length it can cover. So microwaves are used when we are communicating from tower to tower. Nowadays, popularly we are using the mobiles, and these mobiles are connected to a particular tower. So that mobile tower, you can find out different types of different transceivers are connected. So these transceivers are receiving and transmitting the signal. Either they are connecting to another tower, or they are connected to the satellite. So in microwave, these are used to communicate between tower to tower or tower to satellite. And it is traveling a long distance. That's why we are using microwave. So if you are using a LAN, we are using radio wave. We are connecting, if you are connecting between two different locations through wireless media, we have to use microwave as well as radio wave. Okay, so this is about the media what we are using in the computer network or CCNA. So this is about media. Then we'll discuss about the next component. We have discussed about the third component. First one was end device, second was intermediate device, and third component was media. Then we'll come to the fourth, that is topology. So next is the topology. So topology is the method, or it is the way in which we are connecting the computers in a LAN. So for this purpose, as in your academic syllabus, you have to discuss detail about the topology. But for CCNA, we have to just overview what is topology. So in topology, we have to discuss there are three basic types of connections or three basic types of topology. One is called as the Boss topology, second one is the star topology, and third one is the ring topology. So these three are called as the basic topology of a network. So if you are going for the topology in computer network, we are not using this Boss topology. We are used only this star topology. Ring topology also not used. We are using star topology because the devices we are connecting or the end devices we are connecting through a switch. Switch is working as a star topology and it is logically located at the central location of the network. So switch is working as a star topology and we are using the star topology only. Ring topology also we are not using. And out of these three basic topologies, another topology is called as the mesh topology or hybrid topology. So in a mesh topology, it is not a single topology, it is the hybrid version of some of the topologies among these three, like star boss, star ring, ring boss ring, like this. So this is a hybrid version. So from other applications, we are using mesh or hybrid topology, but for computer purposes, we have to discuss only this star topology. So this is about topology. Again, as these are the basic components of topology, and another component of the network is protocol. So which is not here, it is in the next chapter. We have to discuss the protocol or basically IP addressing, as we are using the Microsoft operating system mostly, and in any other protocols also we have to discuss about the IP address, because IP address, it is the logical address to identify the device in a network. So we'll discuss in the next chapter, that is what is IP addressing, and in that chapter we'll discuss about the protocols. The next we have to discuss about what are the types of networks. So basically we are commonly used different types of computer network. They are LAN, MAN, WAN, PAN, and CAN. So all of you know about LAN, local area network. That means the computers or end devices are located in a single geographical area. Either it is a building, or it is within an organization, or within an company, within an firm. If this type of at this type of location the computers are connected, then it is called as the local area connected network. Next is MAN, metropolitan area network. So this metropolitan area network, now we are not using this metropolitan area network. Why we are not using, we'll discuss. Because before some years we are using this MAN, metropolitan area network. So this is used, why we are using MAN? Suppose one organization having 2 units, and these 2 units are located at some, suppose 20-30 kilometers away, and suppose the industry is located at a particular location and the headquarters are located at a different location. So the distance between the industry and the headquarters is suppose 15 or 20 kilometers away. So you have to establish two different lanes, one at the industry and other one at the headquarter. But to connect the industry and headquarter or LAN A to LAN B, we need one media. So how to connect these two locations? To connect these two locations, we have to connect through physical cable. But for one organization, when it is laying down the cable, it needs some physical or some of the roads are nearby the road, it will lay down the cable. But when it is laid down the cable, because the roads, it is belongs to government. So that private party, it is not having the permission to use the cable or to lay down the personal cable nearby the road. So what they will do, for that you have to take the permission. First thing is you have to take the permission, and for this you have to pay something. Second point is the signal, if you are using the cable, there is you have to dig the soil or under the earth, you have to lay down the cable. So you need some manpower. Third point is you need some security, because the cables you have to provide security, otherwise somebody will cut your cable. Then some other disturbances also create, because if the cable is nearby the road, somebody will cut it, and some of the noises, some other unwanted particles also move through your signal, so it will disturb the network. So for this purpose, what we are doing in the previous days, we have to establish two different towers at two different locations, LAN A and LAN B. So between LAN A and LAN B, we have to connect it through wireless way. So this is the MAN. Both the LANs should be connected to each other if the distance is less, 15, 20 or 25 kilometers away, if both the locations are available. So at that case, we are using metropolitan area network. But if you are using MAN or metropolitan area network, so nowadays we are not using, because nowadays the ISPs are available. They are providing the internet connectivity to all the locations where the homes are available, where the industry is available, and where the farms are available. At all locations, you can find out the network or facility of internet. So if you are having the internet connectivity at two different locations, then you can get connected. These two LANs will be get connected. So why you are laying down personally the cables, and you have to invest some of the money for this purpose, and for security also you have to go for this. So nowadays it is very easy, because ISPs are available and they are providing the network connectivity, and basically they have the existing telephone lines. For example, BSNL, Airtel or Tata, they are having their telephone network, and with this telephone network they are also providing this data network. So it is easy for them and easy for the users also. So nowadays for this purpose we are not using MAN. It is outdated. We are not using MAN. And if you are taking the connectivity at two locations, then ISP will not asking for the distance. It is not asking when we are taking one internet service connection, it is not asking you are connected to which location. So you can connect to your next system. You can connect to the person who is 100 kilometers away, or you are sending the message to who is not in India, out of India also. So some of the thousands kilometers away. That means when you are sending an email to 3-4 persons, one person is present nearby you another person he is at Delhi, another person he is at Canada also. So when we are sending the email, the ISP or the connection, network connection you are taking, it is not asking or it is not charging the extra money as per the email you have to send. So if there is no constraint for the distance, then why we are going for MAN? That's why we are not using MAN nowadays. We are using LAN and WAN. One is the wide area network. So when we need different locations, when we are taking the help of ISP to connect two different LANs, at that case we are belongs to WAN. When ISP is connected to two different LANs, it is called as the WAN. So WAN is the wide area network. So in a WAN we can connect the globe whether the networks are available. So these are the basic three types of networks we are using in computer: LAN, MAN and WAN. And the next is we are using nowadays PAN, personal area network. So where you are using PAN, personal area network? So nowadays all of you are using the mobiles and you know the hotspot facility. So when you are connecting to another device through internet through a hotspot, it is a PAN. This is personal area network and it is a very less limitation. That means you can connect 2, 3 devices or 5, 6 devices and all the devices are located within a 1, 2 or 5 meters away. So one example is the hotspots are available nowadays, and some of the hotspots are available by the ISPs like Jio, Airtel. So by connecting the hotspot, we are connecting 3, 4 or 5 devices. So this is the personal area network. And next one is the CAN, campus area network. So it is having some within a organization. When we are connecting one department to other department or the users are connected one department to other department, at that case we are using the campus area network, where whether we are connecting in a wired form or we are connecting in wireless form. So in an organization, you can find out this CAN facility. You can find out any hospitals, railway stations, nowadays in the universities, educational institutions. So nowadays they are providing their own campus area network so that the users can access it or the employees are access the campus area network facility. Because nowadays everything, for every communication we need internet, and for that purpose it is a basic requirement to make the campus area network internet enabled. Either it is a wired way or it is in a wireless way. Okay, these are the different types of networks. So these are the theories you have to discuss. And these are the different network representation. So when we are discussing the CCNA, and we have to connect different icons or different devices will be represented by different icons. So these are the icons what we have to identify in a CCNA syllabus. Suppose this is called as the network representation. So in a network representation, if it is a if it is a PC or desktop, if it is a PC or desktop, it is represented like this. The laptops are represented like this icon. These are the servers. Sometimes you can find out it is in the tower form like this. These are the servers. This is also another this type. This is the tower type server. This is also a server. This is the IP phone. This is LAN mode. If there is a straight line or two devices are connected by using a straight line, this is the LAN mode. And if two devices are connected in a wireless way, then this is a wave-like structure. This is the wireless media, or both devices are connected in wireless mode. Next, this is the switch, LAN switch. We are using switch to communicate the or to connect the end devices. So this is the symbol of switch. This is the symbol of firewall. This is the symbol of router. So this is divided into two parts. Actually, this is a single one. So this is a router. This is also a router. This is called as the wireless router. This is the wireless router, which we can connect the devices directly without any physical cable. And this is the symbol of cloud. So we have to discuss the cloud network also at some of the part, because in CCNA we will not discuss about in details. If you are interested, we can do the cloud networking. We'll discuss about cloud networking, how the data are stored in a cloud networking, how the data we are storing in a data warehousing. So we'll discuss. If you're interested, we can proceed up to that level also. And next is the WAN media. There are two types of cables. This is LAN, this is WAN. If the cable is not straight, this is some Z-like structure, this is called as WAN cable. But if it is a straight, this is called as LAN cable. And if it is wirelessly connected, this is represented like this. Okay. So this is about the components of network. For today's class, we have completed the chapter 1. In chapter 2, we have to go for some of the basic things. We have to design a network. We have to familiar with some of the networking devices. How to connect the devices we'll discuss. That means what the cables we just discussed about today, the media or cable, that is the network cable. But as per our application, as per where we have to apply it, the based on, again, cables are divided into different categories like straight through cable, crossover cable, rolled cable. So we'll discuss about what are the cables and from for which devices we are using which type of cables. We'll discuss in the next class. Okay. So this is the end of the class. We'll continue in the next class. Any doubt, students?
No, sir.
No.
All of you listening or just on the device and left?
No, sir. Listening, sir.
Listening,
Yes, sir.
okay. Okay. Because in CCNA, it is easy to capture you, because after 2-3 days, we are using the online mode of Cisco. We have to move to the Cisco platform, and there you have to use your ID, register user ID and password. So every time what we are doing, I will give you some of the tasks and you have to do it in that platform. By using this packet tracer, you have to post it on the Cisco NetAcad platform. So who is working and who is not working, it is easily identified. Okay, we'll practice some 2-3 classes in packet tracer. First, we have to familiar with the packet tracer, then we'll move to the NetAcad platform. Okay, so for today, thank you all. We'll continue in the next class.
Thank you, sir.